I'm Sebastian St. James. Holding US ETFs can be dangerous. If you hold an American ETF and you die, all hell breaks loose. Pun intended. But firstly, why is it a good idea to hold ETFs in America? Here is QQQM's Invesco's Nasdaq 100 ETF based in the US. It has a management fee of 0.15%. Here is NDQ, Betashares Nasdaq 100 ETF. It's Australian based. Its management costs are 0.48%. Wow, okay, that's a big jump up. So you can see there's a very good reason why somebody might, in Australia, want to buy directly into a US ETF and not to use the Australian version of it because it may cost too much. So if the US version is 0.15% and the Australian version is 0.48%, why is the hike? Is it like everything in Australia, it costs more? Well, yes, basically that's it. Because if you want to buy into the ETF in Australia, the Nasdaq 100, you have exactly one choice of fund. So there's no competition, and that is why the fee is so much higher. On a previous video, one of my viewers commented, I avoid USA domiciled ETFs. This is the reason I closed my USA Charles Schwab brokerage account, even though my brokerage was basically free. It can take 6 to 9 months for the IRS to determine my death taxes to be paid by my executor of my will. In the meantime, everything is frozen in the USA brokerage account. Stocks, ETFs, cash, etc., delaying settlement of my will. My accountant was the first to alert me to possible problems when he mentioned that a deceased Australian investor, USA brokerage account that he'd heard about was not able to be completely shut off for some reason. Is this true? Well, this is from Vanguard. US estate tax may apply to an individual who is neither a US citizen nor domiciled in the US and, at the time of death, is the beneficial owner of US ETF securities. Generally, the first $60,000 is tax exempt. $60,000 is a lot if it's sitting in your bank account, but to retire you may need hundreds of thousands of dollars. So $60,000 sitting in an American ETF is almost inevitable if you go down that route. Here is what the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service in the US, has to say. For estates of decedent non-residents not citizens of the United States, the estate tax is a tax on the transfer of US situated property. I will define some terms so I leave nobody behind. Decedent is a deceased person, not to be confused with decadent, where you eat too much chocolate. Although if you do eat too much chocolate, you may become decedent. That's between you and your chocolate. Estate is the assets that's left after your death. Estate tax is death duties, as we'd call it in Australia. The computation of the tax requires that you state the total value of assets situated in the United States and generally requires a separate statement of total value of assets situated outside the US. So fair enough, to the US government you have to declare what assets you have in the US once you die. Well, you don't, somebody else does. But you also have to declare everything that you own in Australia. Nothing to do with the American government. You might think, well, they've got other opinions. Property includable is cash and securities, real estate, insurance, trusts, annuities, business interests, and other assets. So basically everything but your dog. Your dog is tax exempt, at least for now. To value the assets held at the date of death, the fair market value is used. For assets which are quotable every day, like an ETF or shares, that may be fairly straightforward. But for assets which aren't, then you have to have a basis for finding out the fair value. So that can either be time-consuming or, if you get a professional, expensive. If the date of death value of the decedent's US-based assets exceed the filing threshold of $60,000, that's our amount we've discussed before, the executor must file a Form 706NA for the decedent's estate. 706 who? This is the 706NA form. It's lovely, and you can read that in your own time. There are 3 things that you need to know if you hold US assets. Number 1, don't die. You've been warned. If you do die and you have US assets, it's an admin nightmare. And the first $60,000 is tax exempt. The rest, not so much. Coming up soon, I'll have a video which will tell you what to do on your tax return if you have dividends coming in non-Australian dollars. So they could be US dollars, but they could be from anywhere. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Are there any solutions to this US estate tax problem? Well, yes, there are. Firstly, consider holding the assets in a trust. The trust can have multiple beneficiaries and does not die when you do. you can use Australian domiciled ETFs. Solves that problem totally. If you're young, this risk may be of less importance to you. Based on probability, if you're 20 years of age, well, the risk may be worth taking. It's entirely up to you. The question remains, which index funds will make me rich in 2022? Should I be investing only in Australian stocks and ETFs, or should I be investing in the US? They can be Australian domiciled. Click here to find out more.